Spring breakers aren't the only ones flooding the beaches this spring. A massive wave of sargassum, seaweed, is on the move across parts of southern Florida again. And this one could possibly break an all-time record. The all-time record, by the way, was last year, for those keeping track at home. NOAA is ramping up daily satellite tracking as communities brace for impacts to tourism, marine life, and beach conditions. Fox Weather is also monitoring the stinky seaweed and the risks associated with it with our new daily tracker. I love this product, showing you where exactly folks can expect to see some of that at the coastline, the beaches, and you even see overlaid on there some of the ocean currents. You can see the loop current, that warm channel of water that shoots the gap, northwestern Caribbean, some of the warmest and deepest water in the world. That goes up the Yucatan Channel, loops its way around the Gulf through the Florida Strait, and then up by the Bahamas all the while. There's some seaweed in the mix with that. Let's learn more about it. Joining us is Marine Science Research Assistant Professor Brian Barnes from the University of South Florida, USF. Brian, great to have you with us. Can you explain to us more on the reason behind this surge? Because I mentioned last year being the all-time record. It seems like we're knocking on the door of that already.
Yeah, pretty much. This phenomenon that we're talking about here is part of the Great Atlantic Sargassum Belt, and Florida is right at the tail end of it, as you kind of just mentioned, in the Straits of Florida area. And pretty much since we first saw this Sargassum Belt in 2011, every year we're seeing kind of more and more, and it's just been getting larger and larger. And it's basically responding to the forcings that are around it. It's just like any plant. Once you have the right light environment, the right heat, the right nutrients, it has conditions where it can grow and bloom, and it's just been doing that.
Yeah, what is it about recent times that's allowing it to do so effectively in such large quantities?
Yeah, it's difficult to know. There's certainly the water temperature definitely plays a factor. If it's too cold, the sargassum doesn't have the facilities to grow as quickly. But on the other hand, if it gets too warm, in 2023, I believe we had a marine heat wave in that kind of the area where the sargassum belt has its terminus, and we actually saw that the bloom never really manifested as a major event this year. So there are conditions. There's just like any plant. There's the growing and the survival conditions that exist, and when the conditions are right, it'll take off.
And NOAA now issuing daily tracking updates instead of weekly ones. What does that tell us about the scale of the problem? Is that just technology improving, or is that a reaction to what we've seen the last couple of years?
Yeah, it's a little bit of both. So I'm really excited about NOAA's project. Actually, my lab at University of South Florida, the College of Marine Science, we provide some of the underlying data for that new NOAA model. So we're really glad to see them providing more real-time, timely information to let people know what the current conditions are, that merge the improvements in the satellites, the number and the quality of satellites that are looking down in the oceans is improving. They're getting better at detecting sargassum. So we see more sargassum now, and we see it more frequently. And our models of the ocean, where are those currents moving the sargassum, are getting better. So bringing those all together in a daily level product is the best way that we have to help mitigate the impacts of the sargassum.
Yeah, great work to you and your team for being part of that. I mean, this is a fabulous product that we're going to be showing oftentimes this time of year on a daily basis here on Fox Weather. Naturally occurring thing, as you mentioned, but there are tangible impacts to people and local economies, business. Are there any plans in place to address sargassum when it's at quantities like this?
Yeah, it's just really hard because it's a basin scale problem. So the belt spans all the way from Africa, all the way through the Caribbean into the Gulf of Mexico. A huge area is impacted by sargassum. And although there's a ton, 30 million metric tons or so that we estimate from the satellite data, it's spread out over a really large area. So you can't just go collect it all. And even if you could, you wouldn't want to. It's a healthy ecosystem offshore. So the best tools that we have right now, at least from my perspective, is to improve our ability to detect sargassum in near real time, make some predictions to where it's going to go, and thereby we can be on hand, have the facilities on hand ready to capture and collect the sargassum before it does real damage to the ecosystem or to the populations.
Yeah, I see it almost like we treat storms during tropical season, in the sense that as long as these things don't sneak up on us, so we're aware of them and can prepare, that takes some of the sting at it. Not necessarily the smell at the beaches at that time, but some of the sting at least. Very cool product, and it's been great to talk with you a little bit about it. That's Marine Science Research Assistant Professor Brian Barnes from USF. Thanks for chatting with us on Fox Weather.
Thanks so much, Ian.